Okay, for my project, I chose to do the auditory system because out of all the chapters, this one was my favorite one. So, the auditory system. The auditory system deals with the ear, and the ear's main function is to act as a transducer and convert energy from one form to another. Within the ear, there are three main parts, such as the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. The outer ear. The outer ear contains three main parts: the pinna, the external auditory meatus, and the tympanic membrane. The pinna is made up of flexible cartilage and helps channel sound waves into the ear canal. The external auditory meatus leads from the pinna to the tympanic membrane and funnels sound to the tympanic membrane. And the tympanic membrane is between the outer ear and the middle ear, and the main function is to vibrate when pressure is impinged on it. The middle ear. The middle ear is a tiny space that contains three ossicles: the malleus, the incus, and the stapes, which are the smallest bones in the body, ligaments that hold them into place, and two muscles. Its main function is to increase the energy that occurs due to the overcoming impedance mismatching between the middle and the inner ear. And the ossicles are connected to each other with the tympanic membrane on one side and the oval window on the other side. The malleus has two major parts: the head and the manubrium. The incus, which is the medial bone, is connected to the malleus, and the stapes attaches to both the incus and the oval window and is the smallest bone in the entire body. The muscles of the middle ear are the tensor tympani and the stapedius muscle. The tensor tympani is the longer of the two muscles and runs alongside the eustachian tube, and the stapedius muscle is obviously the shorter of the two and runs alongside the posterior wall of the tympanic cavity to the stapes. The inner ear is the deepest part of the ear and contains the cochlea, the semicircular canals, and the vestibule. The cochlea is housed within the temporal bone, has a spiral snail shape, and has fluids such as endolymph and perilymph. Endolymph is the fluid in the cochlear duct or the scala media, and perilymph is the fluid that fills the scala vestibuli and the scala tympani. The semicircular canals house the sense organs for the movement of the body, and the vestibule is a small space that is continuous with the vestibule mechanism and to the cochlea. The two membranes of the inner ear are Reisner's membrane and Baszler membrane. Reisner's membrane is extremely thin separation between the perilymph of the scala vestibuli, and the endolymph of the scala media. Reisner's also plays an important role in the cochlea's ability to perform both intensity and frequency analysis of the incoming sounds. Baszler's membrane is the primary point of neural excitation of the hair cells within the organ of Corti, and is the portion of the cochlear duct where the organ of Corti is attached. So now I have two activities to do. The first is a game on sound and hearing that I found and like to use to study for both the acoustics final and the anatomy final. And within it are questions like, as we age, are we less likely to hear, like which sounds are we less likely to hear? And there are also questions on here that describe how animals and humans hearing and the way we perceive sound is different. The other is the auditory system game, and we can play it to find out the anatomy, where everything is, make sure we know. So the first one is the ossicles, which are the three on the middle. The pinna is the outer ear, external auditory meatus, outer ear, realm window, the cochlea, inner ear, tympanic membrane, outer or middle, the oval window, the semicircular canals, the auditory nerve, and that's it. We got 100. So lastly are my sources. Thank you.